have a boilerplate where we can do our work and try to communicate with the client that is giving us some data, right? We would like to be able to communicate with this over here, yes? So let's do that. So to do this, let's copy that. Let's copy that and let's bring it over to our client, our implementation. Where is it? It's this one right here. So we would like to make that query when we first load, right? And provide maybe an input field for us to maybe type in the title and search that. But first, let's see if we can connect to the remote server and store the information in here in our component, right? So for instance, we might start off with some state information where we keep track of the movies that we want to render as an empty array, right? And then that empty array we can iterate over and display multiple movies, right? And so what we'll do is that on component did mount, right? This is a good time to maybe do a query, right? We can use a fetch and go out to that URL, right? And once that comes back, right, the response is gonna be here, response, which we're going to parse the JSON body and then spit out the results, right? And let's see what results come back. So we'll do console log the results. Okay? So if we render this and look at the console, notice that there's an object there, right? And if we open up that object, we'll see that those are the results that came back from the remote server. See that? It contains Batman Begins, blah, 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 all that information. Yes? So we could just maybe update the state with this information and then start iterating over that. Notice that the movie information is inside of this object that came back, and notice that it has how many total records met my criteria of Batman, of only which I'm only getting the first 10. Okay? If we look into the APIs a little further, we'll see that not only can we pass in a title or a search field, we can also pass in parameters such as which page do we want. Okay? This is the first page. Right? By default, it comes back with the first page that contains the first 10 elements. Right? And then we would have to explicitly ask for page 2, page 3, page 4, right? And it would come back with the next 10 and the next 10 and the next 10 so that we can paginate over multiple results. Make sense? But it tells us how many so that we can calculate how many pages there are. We can say, well, 370 divided by 10, okay, there are 37 pages. Right? So you could randomly choose to jump between the pages, which page you want to look at. Right? But by default, we're just going to leave it as I'm only ever going to look at the first page, and that's it. If you want to implement pagination, that's great. But the actual data is in the search. So let's add this search and let's put it into our movies array in our state. Yes? And then we can iterate over that and render it here. So let's do that. So what we'll do, let's do that.